In this video, I will discuss how to search for reviewers using the Find Reviewers tool available from Editorial Manager. Find Reviewers is a search tool that allows editors to search for potential reviewers outside the journal's existing reviewer database. The tool uses Scopus data to find and suggest potential reviewers and provides extensive information about each candidate, giving you the opportunity to evaluate them prior to inviting them to review. Find Reviewers also offers integrated conflict of interest checks, helping you to avoid bias and conflicts of interest that may impact peer review. Find Reviewers can be accessed from the Reviewer Selection Summary screen by clicking Find Reviewers using Scopus. Find Reviewers opens in a new window. You will need to allow pop-ups within your browser for this window to open. Find Reviewers offers multiple search options depending on the configuration of your journal. There are up to 7 search options available within the tool: System Recommendations, Keyword Search, Author Search, Referenced Authors, Interested Reviewers, Journal Reviewers, and Editorial Board Members. System Recommendations displays 100 reviewer recommendations automatically generated for each new submission. These reviewers are ranked based on their publication data from Scopus and reviewer history across Elsevier journals. It can take up to 24 hours from the time of submission for these reviewer recommendations to be generated, so if they do not appear the first time you check, please try again later. Co-authors of the manuscript and researchers that have published with the authors in the past 3 years are automatically excluded from the results within System Recommendations. Candidates based at the same institution as any of the manuscript co-authors are tagged with a red Same Institution label. Candidates from the same country as one of the manuscript co-authors are tagged with a red Same Country label. Clicking on a reviewer name displays more information about them, such as their H-index, link to their Scopus profile, Elsevier editorial history, content match, author keywords, Scopus subject areas, reviewing history across Elsevier journals, and publication history. There is an option to filter recommendations based on the H-index, expertise, connections, and review history. Once a suitable reviewer is found, you simply click on Add to Manuscript. Several reviewers may be added in this way, and you can then click Return to Submission to return to Editorial Manager and invite these reviewers, or list them as alternate or proposed reviewers. To respect the time and workload of our reviewers, there are some limits applied to the number of reviewers you can select from Find Reviewers, and the system will alert you when you approach this. The Keyword Search tab allows you to perform a keyword search in Scopus. You can add a keyword by typing directly in the Keyword Search field and clicking Add. The term added will then appear in the Keywords section in the middle of the screen. The system will have pre-populated the manuscript keywords in the Suggested Manuscript Keywords entered by the Author section. Click directly on the term to add it as a search term. If your journal uses classifications, then these will be listed in the Manuscript Classifications selected by the Author section. Again, to add a classification as a search term, click directly on it. You can select the Published Since year from the drop-down. The search default is All, which will display only candidates who meet all keywords entered. You may change this to Any to broaden the search range if needed. Once you've entered all keywords you would like to search on, click Search. Potential reviewers will be displayed in order of their matching works. Click on a candidate to view more details about them. Once you have found a suitable reviewer, click Add to Manuscript. As with the System Recommendations option, several reviewers may be added in this way, and you can then return to the submission to invite them or list them as alternate or proposed reviewers by clicking Return to Submission. The Author Search tab allows you to perform a direct author search in Scopus. You may search on the author's last name, first name, affiliation, or email address, and must enter a value for at least one field to perform a search. Search results will be displayed in the same way as we have previously seen for system recommendations and keyword search. The conflict of interest checks in author search are also the same across keyword search, referenced authors, interested reviewers, journal reviewers, and editorial board members. Co-authors of the current manuscript are displayed in the search results. However, they are tagged with a manuscript author label, and the Add to Manuscript button is disabled. Researchers who've published with any of the manuscript authors in the past 5 years are tagged with a red Published Together in the Last 5 Years label. Candidates based at the same institution as any of the co-authors are tagged with a red Same Institution label. Candidates from the same country as the manuscript co-authors are not currently tagged in these search options, as they are in system recommendations. Referenced authors is a trial feature that makes use of the references of the manuscript. Where the authors of papers referenced in the manuscript can be successfully identified in Scopus, they will be made available here for potential invitation. This tab will only appear if the manuscript file uploaded by the author is in Microsoft Word format. The default ordering is based on the number of matching works using any of the manuscript keywords. As with the other sections, it is recommended that editors update these keywords via session preferences to get the best candidate matches. The next tab is Interested Reviewers. This section displays the details of any reviewers that have expressed interest in reviewing for your journal via Elsevier's Reviewer Hub. Candidates will be displayed based on matching works with the author keywords. These keywords can be manually adjusted via the Session Preferences tab, which we will see shortly. Please ensure you evaluate the expertise of any interested reviewers to ensure they are a good match for the subject of the manuscript. Journal Reviewers is a trial feature at present. Via this tab, you may browse active reviewers from your journal database in Editorial Manager. This list shows top available reviewers with a connected Scopus profile, ordered based on the best match on manuscript keywords. The final tab is Editorial Board Members. This section shows the editorial board members for your journal. The list is currently restricted to editors who have connected their Scopus profile. The default sorting for this list is matching works, but you can change this using the filters at the top of the page or via session preferences. Any reviewers you have added whilst using Find Reviewers will be displayed in the Selected Candidates tab. For each candidate, you will see where that selection was made, whether in Find Reviewers or previously in Editorial Manager. You have the option to rearrange the order the candidates will display in Editorial Manager by dragging and dropping. Clicking on the Expand arrow to the right of each candidate will display more details about them, as well as the option to remove them from the list, if necessary. The Manuscript Details tab displays information relating to the submission, such as the title, manuscript number, keywords, classifications, corresponding author, and abstract. The Session Preferences tab presents criteria such as the manuscript keywords, which will be used to identify matching works for author search, referenced authors, interested reviewers, journal reviewers, and editorial board members. New keywords can be added by entering them directly in the box. Keywords can be removed by clicking on the X next to the term. The default search parameter is Any, but you have the option to refine this by changing to All. Once all updates are made, click Apply Changes. The lists of candidates in these tabs will now be reordered accordingly. The Conflict of Interest tab within Session Preferences displays all candidates included in the automated checks. Candidates can be included or excluded from the checks by using the toggle button and clicking Apply Changes. For further information on this, please see our video, Conflict of Interest Checks in Find Reviewers. Once you have selected suitable reviewers via the Add to Manuscript option, you may return to Editorial Manager by clicking Return to Submission. You are now returned to Editorial Manager, where you can see the reviewer imported from Find Reviewers, displayed in the Reviewer Candidate screen. Next to the reviewer, you will have three options. You can choose to invite them directly, make them an alternate reviewer, or list them as a proposed reviewer. Alternate reviewers will not be invited immediately, but may be invited automatically by the system later if an additional reviewer is needed. Proposed reviewers will never be invited automatically, but act as a shortlist and can be promoted to an invited or alternate reviewer at any point if needed. If the candidate from Find Reviewers is not registered with the journal, they will be proxy registered when you click Proceed or Perform another search. If the candidate is already registered, please select Use this candidate to prevent adding duplicate reviewers to the database. After you have made your selection, click Proceed at the bottom of the screen to proceed with the invitation. If the selected reviewer is new to the journal, you will now need to assign them a reviewer role. From the Reviewer Role drop-down, select the appropriate role and click Assign Reviewer Roles. The Select Reviewer screen is now displayed. From here, you can customize the invitation email to the reviewer, as well as editing the due date of the review, if necessary. Lastly, click Confirm Selections and Proceed to send the invitation to the reviewer. This is how to search for reviewers using Find Reviewers. Please visit the Journal Article Publishing Support Centre should you require further information. Thank you for watching.